All right, guys. Kyle here with the AOA system. I'm here with Stuart, the man, the myth, the legend. He has graciously came on just to talk about, his experience with our program. We've been needing to do a lot more videos on this, so I'm just trying to do this. He was graciously able to do this. So, Stuart, what were you doing before, you know, our system?
So I was doing starting to do some online or not online, in-person seminars and just going through my relationship capital. And my relationship capital is just, friends, family, warm market. And pretty much I kind of spent through my relationship capital, and I still do. So was looking at different types of things. What can I do to up my annuity production? And so I was looking into leads, and leads looked, wow, like $300-400 each, and you may not get something. So I decided,
And you have to buy a minimum too, right? Like, don't you typically have to buy a minimum of them? So maybe it's like 10,
yes,
a batch of 10, give or take.
depends on which lead source that you're going to go to, but yes. And so I didn't like that. I stumbled across annuities, this lead hackers. I don't know, lead hackers. Oh, that looks cool. And then all of a sudden, I typed that in, and all of a sudden I got 10 other companies that are, what Facebook or Instagram or whatever it does. I don't know technology, but it all of a sudden starts putting all that stuff in there. And now all of a sudden I got like 20 other companies to look at, right? And so then I
Click
was
one ad and it just goes boom. It's just like, they
exactly.
launch.
And
Yeah.
somebody in our company when I went to one of the simplicity trainings was talking about juice box, this juice box one, and he's trying that. He's not doing it anymore, but he didn't really have much success off it. But I was in the talks with them, and I was like, that was going to be like $3,000 or $4,000 to start off with, and that they guarantee you, that you're gonna get, that's gonna pay for it. But they just guarantee it by basically training you up. And I'm not saying anything bad about them. I've heard really good things about us
Yeah,
for
good
people.
people, good company for sure.
Yeah, really really good company. But the price per month with this, and then learning how to do the ad spend, I'm like, I'm going to do that one first. And so this is obviously it's paid off with the first webinar, with the first, like second or third person I talked to. This has already paid for itself off tenfold. So, and me, technology is not my friend. So I really fumbled on that first webinar. It sucked. I mean, I did not do a good job on
And
that
you
first
still
webinar.
wrote
And
how much business off of it?
yeah, it's in suitability right now. It's still going through the thing, but there's some
Okay.
back and forth, but it's happening. And I
Yeah.
still wrote business from it. And so, but the lady did business with me because I had said on my webinar, I'm sorry, this isn't me. I don't know how to do this stuff. So I'm fumbling through it. And I literally said, technology is not my friend. And that like resonated with this client. She's like, it doesn't technology is not my friend either, right? So, I mean, I had people on there going, I posted that QR code and, but I couldn't find the chat because it was hidden underneath my video. So I did put the link on there. And so people
Yeah.
are in the chat asking me questions, and I'm like, I don't know how to find the chat. So it's like I was able to, the cool thing about it is your system like has it all recorded with who was chatting and asking questions. So I was able to go back later for the people that were asking me chats. And nice thing is your system's automated, so it automatically sent her my booking link anyways, even though I didn't have, I wasn't able to put it in there. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that was that was really cool, is that the system's working in the background, able to help me for my, what I wasn't able
We're
to
all
do.
learning, man. We're all
I
learning,
know.
especially in this industry
So
too. Like, there's plenty of people
yeah,
that are still learning how to do Zoom, especially after COVID. Like, that was a big
yeah.
thing, you know?
So I'm finally, after all of the cool tech support with you, Yusuf, and and I'm finally able to actually kind of do it on my own now. But I still jump on those calls, just to hear other agents that are having the same issues that I used to have, and like being able to record my video and post it in there and do the snips. I can do all that now.
Yeah. On steroids,
You
right?
were a
So,
little worried about me at first, I know.
listen, I remember when I put when I heard the result come in, I was like, I'm so proud of you, man. I'm so proud of you of all the
Yeah,
things that have happened to that. So, so from doing the warm market and then going
right.
from doing in-person seminars to basically doing the same thing but online, um, you know, when you see someone looking into our system, you know, what would you say about it ultimately? What comes to mind?
Well, it's you're able to, the cool thing about this is you're able to attack the whole United States, right? Not just in your special area, right? Like I don't have any clients that through this webinar from my hometown of Washington. I got um, what is it, Georgia and Tennessee and Kentucky, right? And I would have never met these people if I didn't go on a webinar and they looked at my thing. Now the last person, she's like, well, my friend said not to go on anybody that's on Facebook or whatever. And so I had to explain to her, well, the Facebook is just an ad. I said, have you ever called off of a billboard before driving across the street or driving across the highway? You see a billboard that says, do this. Have you ever thought about doing business with them? She says, well, yes. I said, well, that's exactly what this little ad is. Excuse me, sorry. Um, that's what this ad is basically a billboard, but on the internet. And you just have to be able to trust that this person isn't scamming you, right? I'm not scamming anybody. But that's nice because when you do the live webinar, and it's not just a recorded webinar, people see you in person, and they
Or
see
just a
that
random opt-in,
you're
right? When someone just opt-ins to an ad and you call them and they're like, don't even,
exactly,
no idea who you are, not even qualified, not even educated, don't even, again, you already
exactly.
had that space to educate,
Right. And it's
right?
it's kind of neat because I'm not having to build an ad. Your ad's are already there. And then it's an educational webinar, and people don't want to be sold, they want to be educated, and so that's what's really cool about it. It just takes off the pressure from people, as they they're going to get a free webinar, they're going to get we're going to give them for instance, I'm doing the RMD webinars, they're going to get a free webinar or free RMD analysis, and people want that. That's the problem. They get on there for RMDs, and it's basically the hook, and then you can go from there. And so that's what's really cool about it. It just makes it really easy for a client to just trust you right off the bat.
Yeah, man. So I know you shared an appointment that just came through, like you're like literally saving her so much money.
Well, yeah, she's in a
And
bad situation right now. The beneficiary is the annuity company because they know that she doesn't have any siblings, she doesn't have anybody else. She wants to transfer it over to her church, and um, this Samaritan's Purse. Uh, it's like Billy Graham's foundation or whatever. So the first thing we have to, we're doing is we're getting the beneficiary right for her. So God forbid she graduates tomorrow. So, the beneficiary is where she wants it to go, not just the annuity company. Um, she's in a bad situation right now that she doesn't know about because it's a variable annuity. And so she's being charged all these fees if something happens with the market. Her annuity can just go away. So we're helping her get out of a bad situation, excuse me, and get into a better product. And then she's got some AUM that's being charged fees, and she wasn't aware of that. And so it's close to a $1.2 million case, and maybe a little bit more, helping her with some trust, with putting some stuff into a trust, and I'm getting some information to
yeah,
help her
it's like
with
well,
that.
this is like live happening right now. It's July
Happening right,
31st, 2026.
yeah,
Crazy.
happening as we speak, and I'm really helping this lady get out of the
So
situation that she's worried about. So
what
I
I
feel
wanted
really
to
good about
share with
that.
that too, man, is like that's why I started this company because I knew there was people like my grandparents who didn't plan effectively or they weren't aware of certain situations. And so we're on, we want to impact 1 million people to have a good retirement planning experience. And so because
Right,
you showed up for yourself on the webinar and now you're showing up for her and she's showing up for herself as well. It's kind of
exactly.
it's a cool me for moment for you
Yeah,
because it's like a full circle of like, yes, this is why we do what we do. And so
exactly.
if someone's looking at our system, what are some questions that, they may want to ask themselves before hopping on and, what was the things that, let's make sure they don't get held back to move forward. Obviously there were some tech things. You've done some in-person stuff before. I get a lot of
Yeah,
people who are like, man, I'm just an in-person guy. And you just shattered that limiting belief by doing this, right?
yeah.
So
Well,
like
this is
just to re-ask the question, because that's a loaded question, is,
right.
you know, what were you thinking before you got started? And if someone's looking into the system, what
Well,
would you say
I
to
also looked at it. An in-person seminar is going to cost you about $9,000. You're going to get people coming to a state dinner, and those are still good. I'm still going to be doing those,
them?
and I'm organizing. Having my company build that for me right now, and they have some really good ones that they put out. So, but this just gets me doing something every 2 weeks, and it's just a momentum. deal. Because as you know, in this business, it's like if you're not doing something, you get stagnant, and then you start looking for other ways of getting leads. And this is, you know, if you do these webinars every 2 weeks, it's constantly getting these flow. And then, you know, we have this system that's, you know, sending people that didn't get on the webinar or whatever. It's constantly sending them things and it's dripping them. But I'm also getting new leads and I'm taking these and putting it into my other system that I'm going to be sending out as well. So it's like, I'm not just going to let this sit in the system. I'm pulling everything and putting it into my other drip campaigns that I'm doing. And so you know, I have like 51 people on my last, I had 51 people register for it. I had 17 people that showed up, right? And 3 appointments off that within 3 days. I mean,
Within
I had a
3
lady that booked an
days.
appointment on that last webinar before the webinar because she was like, "Oh, I got to get on," because you know we put on that thing. You got to get on the not you know book, and so she had like this urgency creation, like, "Well, I better book a call with him before everybody else does," because we hold our, you know, I'm gonna hold out 15 days for you, you know, just for the people on this webinar, right? And so I'm gonna block
Yeah.
out that time. And it's funny is I told you about this. The calendar was on EST.
Yes.
I'm on PST. So
Yes.
someone booked an appointment at 6:30 in the morning. This client actually. And so I had to got on a call at 6:30 in the morning. Instead of 9:30 a.m. PST, it was 9:30 EST. So that
And
was just
now
because
what? This is like the second appointment you would
yeah,
consider, or is it okay? Right on. Not a
yeah,
reschedule.
from
Just like
this
a
last webinar that had happened. So
dude.
yeah.
That's super cool though. Like at the
So
same
I'm like,
time,
oh,
you got
I'm
up
gonna have to
early.
get up
You
and
got the
get on it.
appointment. You're there. Boom.
I have a 7-year-old child that isn't, you know, still sleeping. Right, this
Yeah.
week I bring him to camp every morning, so it's good.
Yeah.
But it's it was you know, with the technology part was a challenge for me. But the cool thing is I had to read those. You set up those. I did the setup. You know, I'm gonna because I can't do it. I didn't want to do it myself, so I just paid for the setup fee. It was made it so
Yeah.
much easier. Just did it for me, and then follow all those videos. And a lot of the questions that I was asking, getting on those technology, if I would have just watched those videos, I would have done that. But it was great. So, yeah, it's it's been good. I'm really happy with it.
Awesome, man. That's awesome. So I guess like um number of webinars you've done already? How many webinars have you
Two,
done? Two
two. I'm
webinars?
gonna do another. Yeah. So I'm gonna get on the launch call on Monday with is it Monday or Tuesday with Lewis and
Yeah.
have and you know I can do it myself now, but I'm gonna have him. I'm gonna
Yeah.
launch. I'm gonna launch again for another webinar to be in 2 weeks because I go fishing in Alaska at the end of
Oh, I'm
end of
so jealous,
August.
man.
So then I have to get those 15 days, you know,
Yeah.
blocked out before
Yeah.
I go. So
Yeah, yeah,
that's how
yeah. That
I'm
makes
doing
all the sense in the world, man. So we got two webinars. We have how many appointments off of those so far?
it. 7 appointments.
7 appointments, and then we'll go to assets. How many assets have you been just at least in front of that you know of?
About 1.6 million
About
so far.
1.6 million. Then
So,
what you're looking at to write off of that?
um, well, I'm writing 380 from the original one, and then this one. I mean, I got everything. She sent me over everything we're working at. We're designing it. I'll do this. I'll get at least 1.2 off of this one
That's
for
crazy.
sure.
So I mean, and so like as far as just is it like a five? I mean, 5 or 8 in between 5 or 8% in the commission, right? Just depends on the product, right? So ultimately, you sold two deals. It was two deals, basically.
Two
You're working
deals.
on them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So ultimately, you've already paid. You're not just your ad spend, but you've also paid for the entire year and then some.
Oh wait, the next 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm trying to put down. Like it's like, dude, you've like that's what I'm trying to get across to someone. You here's what you've shattered is first people with limiting beliefs around technology. You're able to watch the videos, learn it, be
Yeah.
coachable, and get it done. Then the only in person, I'm an only in person type of guy, warm market type of people. You've also shattered because
Right.
you're able to show up and do it and write the actual business from it and being
Exactly.
open about not being good at technology. Like for I've had
Right.
webinars myself to where I'd struggle finding the chat and putting a link in there because I was just focused on my presentation.
Yeah.
And then from there you were just being you and people were resonating with your message, your story, which is why you were able to beat the whole Facebook people situation. Also, again, just being yourself and who you are, but and then selling that appointment and then getting them to the first, second, and just doing what you do best. So
Exactly.
I really, really wanted to highlight that because there's a lot of people that have they either want to talk to our customers. I'm like, cool, like sign up. We have obviously we have our
Right.
annuity producer roundtable call that you've been a part of, and then every Friday, and then it's like, well, here are some results. Okay, cool. And then it's also good to see, like, because we're starting to get more people from Simplicity come through, and it's like now we have, at least a representative that has a video from that. So
Yeah, John, one of my friends that's with Simplicity with my group just did his first webinar. So he just we just helped him snip his Zoom and put everything in there. Yeah, I helped him do that.
yeah, dude, I swear, man, we need to have like we need to have like a pod of like people who come from like bigger organizations like Simplicity and be like, here, this is your all's pod for coaching or whatever. It'd be cool. But
Yeah.
anyways, for people who are looking at the system, what would you say to them before we conclude this?
You just get in and do it and don't worry about knowing, like I didn't know anything about what ad spend was. I mean, you guys do it all for you. So it's just a done for you. You still have to do the work. You still have to, put your notes in you still have to go in there and copy and paste the notes that you provide into the slides. That's easy. Once you do that, and then you just schedule the webinar and do it. It took me a while before I did my first webinar. I wish I would have started early. I wish I would have done my first webinar earlier, but I had some things going on. But it's all automated. It's all done for you. So that's it. Just come on, listen to how we do it, and everybody. That's cool. Every Monday we get on and Todd does a webinar training. So we have people that are doing this that are writing millions of dollars of business a month, coaching up the new people and showing us how to do it. And so that's what's cool. It's not just a program or a CRM, but it's a community now that I'm part of other agents helping other agents. That's which is really nice.
And we also take good feedback in, like where you and I are also collaborating on some new
Exactly.
things too. We're seeing we're writing business, but how can we get that to that next level? That's what it's all about. So Stuart,
Exactly.
thank you so much,
You're
man.
welcome.
It's gonna hear your
Thank you.
story and all the good, the bad, the ugly. That's what I wanted to actually capture on this video, which is why I think we
Right.
accomplished everyone. Because you're on the internet, like there are so many videos out there about how awesome results are, but they don't talk about the skeletons in the closet. That's why I like
Yeah.
to say. So like this is like the most awesome thing you could have done for someone. So that's
Hey,
looking into it. So.
if you can teach an old dog new tricks. I mean, I'm 58 years old. Yeah, I didn't even know what, when I make a Facebook post, my wife has to do it for me, right?
I love it. I love it. I love
Right?
it.
So it's like I'm not, she got to do it for me. But and so this has been great.
Cool. Well, if
I'm
someone's
learning how
wanting
to.
to maybe connect
Yeah.
with you, because we also have an affiliate program. So people who sign
Yep.
up for the affiliate program, they're looking at your video. How can they contact you? Is there an email or maybe a website?
Yeah, you can get up. You can go at Stuart at fidelislegacywealth.com.
Yep.
That's my email. Be happy to do that. They can call me.
Cool.
And my phone number is on my website.
Yep.
Uh,
And you can see that how to spell his website on right above his graphic
oh,
there
yeah.
on his there it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fidelislegacywealth.com.
Boom.
I was in the Marine Corps, so the Marine Corps' motto is Semper Fidelis, which is always faithful. So I wanted to put that into my business name, so I did Faithful Legacy Wealth, and so that's where I got that
Bada
from.
bing, bada boom. God is
A
good
big motto,
all the
yeah,
time. And all the time,
all the time.
God is
God
good.
is good all the time.
All right, guys. Thank you all so much for watching this
All
video
right,
and be in contact with Stuart if you need to. Looking forward to
all
working
right.
with you guys.
Sounds good.